My name is Veronica Kairos, Veronica Kairos. I live in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and I am a state employee. I'll never know what word to use. I hate the word partner because that sounds like a business. And I don't think legally the term spouse applies. I get really confused. But anyway, the person with who I am in a committed relationship's name is Forrest, with one R, please. We had a commitment ceremony. We've gone to Vermont and had a civil union. We did a New Jersey domestic partnership. We did a New Jersey civil union. We've done anything that we can because ultimately we want to be optimists and believe that it matters. Working for the state, I have had a pretty good experience. Benefits changes in order to go on to each other's policies weren't problematic. A little chaotic because nobody had the right forms, but that's okay. When I needed to put in a state W-4 in order to say civil union on my withholding statement so that tax would be held in the appropriate form, I had to go and find the form myself and take it to my personnel office and tell them that their forms that they had were outdated. I didn't get upset about this because I considered an education process. At least the forms were updated and they were just missing from our form drawer. When I changed my name and took my partner's name, my person to who I am in a committed legal relationships name, there was no problem except that, there was a delay. I wasn't sure whether they were just putting it off or, whether it was just state inertia in following up on these things. But, after some perseverance, it took place. It was fine. Some of my coworkers made some remarks, but again, I figured it was an education process. This is something new. I'm willing to work with people. So I was completely unprepared a couple weeks ago when I was called for jury duty. I view this not only as an obligation, but as something that I look forward to doing. I'm committed to our legal process. I'm committed to doing what it takes to be a good citizen in this country. So, no problem. I went and I sat. I got called in for a jury. It was, they were going through potential jurors like crazy. They've been at the jury selection process. I think they were on their third day, and they still hadn't gotten a full jury selection. So I'm sitting there waiting for my turn to be called up and asked all the questions that the judge was going through, and I felt like I was hit with a ton of bricks because the judge repeatedly asked every person, "Are you single or are you married?" And I'm thinking, how do I answer that? Because I'm not single. I'm not married. I'm in a court of law, and here's a judge qualifying candidates for the jury, and what I am is not represented in any way. I'm sitting there waiting for my chance, and I'm thinking, how do I answer that question? I'm in a position of wanting to serve on the jury and give a truthful answer, and I can't truthfully answer what the judge is saying because he's not giving me an option that reflects me, because it never occurred to him that there's something other than single or married. And this is a judge. This is someone who's supposed to be upholding the law. Am I placed in a position of having to make a political statement while I'm being interviewed as a juror to say, "Excuse me, Judge, but there's something else that you're not asking me"? And I'm sitting in a room full of people when, that's not what the purpose of being on a jury is to educate everybody. And I'm just thinking, how much simpler would this be if I could just say, "Yeah, I'm married." So, I'm all for it. I want to say that. Yeah, I'm married. Thank you.